Hi there, students. User base. Okay, this can be one word or two words. I think you could probably even hyphenate it. Let's see, the user base is, I think, the modern word for customer base. The user base, we use this particularly for programs or for technology. It's the number of people that use a particular program or a particular type of technology. So in internet or in computing, it's always interesting the user base that uses Windows or the compared to the user base that uses Linux. Okay, it's the number of people using it. You even actually have a word, the installed base. This is the number of people who actually have a program that a particular type of program installed. So yes, for example, you could have various browsers installed, and the installed base, the number of units that have been installed. The customer base is effectively the number of customers. So, for example, these online platforms like HBO or Netflix, these have enormous user bases worldwide. The user base is the number of people who are actually using that product, the number of end users of a product. If you write your own program, you will probably have a very small user base, but what you want to do is you want to grow your user base. Initially, mobile phones, when I was a kid, had a very, very small user base because they were incredibly expensive. But now the user base is probably half of the world's population or more. Probably the user base is more like 3/4 of the population of the world. So it's the customer base. If a company has a solid customer base, these are the customers that they can depend on, the people that are going to buy things from them. I think the customer base is all of its regular customers considered as a group. But one of the questions with this user base or customer base, how do you define somebody that actually uses your product in the user base? Do they use it every day, every week, once a year? It depends on the product. If it's a product that you need the whole time, then you're going to have a higher user base. Let's see. The HSBC has a customer base of millions of people. They've got a very large set of clientele, a subscriber base, an audience base. They're using this word base nowadays with all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, it's the base is the number of people using the product, the number of people regularly using it, the number of people who you can depend on, and I think the user base, the established population of users, is a very important thing. I wonder if the user base of Twitter has dropped since it was taken over. Okay, the user base for each of the different social media. I don't know which social media has the biggest user base, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that would know. So yeah, this is business jargon. The number of units of a particular product or service that are currently in use, but particularly in talking about software or in internet, an internet site. An internet site has a user base. So there are lots of different internet sites I use. When does it stop? When do I stop being part of the user base? How little do I need to use it? So it's the established group of users, or for a particular type of technology. The user base for artificial intelligence is increasing very rapidly. Yeah, these are the people who use the product or service, or they buy it, or they're the customers, or it's difficult. There are many different measures, but the base is effectively the number of people, the base, the thing that holds it together. So user base, this is business English. I think I'm going to give it a 5.5 in formality. Use absolutely anywhere. User base, customer base. And yeah, so the base, the thing that holds it. So user base, customer base.